welcome everybody. Do we have many people on right now?
Yeah, like 4 or 5.
Anyone asking any questions yet?
Not yet. Nope.
Oh, okay.
Sonia the studio's on. Say hi. Just start talking.
Okay. Well, it's been a while since we've done a live session, and it looks like we had a lot of fun today working on getting this up. We thought we got going early enough, but obviously we're a little bit late. Anyway, I'd love to hear from you guys, anything that you want me to talk about, and we'll just kind of roll on from there. Yesterday, I had some feedback on the Flower Energies vial that I wanted to kind of share a little bit with you. The Flower Energies vial, I know that a lot of people aren't very familiar with the energy vials, but the Flower Energy vial has the energies of, I think we're over 400 flowers in it at this point in time, and you can call out specific flower energies that you want or whatever. And in particular, this person said that they had been using the Flower Energies vial on energy circles, where they were taking a person's name and birth date number and writing the flowers that they wanted to send to them and putting the Flower Energies vial on that. Or we also have flower energy formulas and flower energy blends, and that's all information that's at Blue Iris Learning Center. In doing that, they began to notice that it was really making a big difference in the emotional state that the people were experiencing. And so what their experience has been in this particular person is that a lot of the really deep, stubborn, rigid emotions have been being changed and cleared, bringing more happiness and joy and just a relaxation to the people. And so that's really cool to hear that that's happening with the Flower Energies vial. You'll find information about the Flower Energies vial at Blue Iris Learning Center at FEV, as in Flower Energies vial.blueiris.org. So you can read up a little bit on it there if you'd like to. But that's just one of the vials available at Blue Iris Learning Center. Do we have questions and such happening, or?
Just keep talking for a second.
Okay. All right.
Rhoda saying hi.
And hello, Rhoda. It's good to see you. I always enjoy having all of my friends show up, and even if you are halfway around the world from me. So I have my Catitudes cup. My family loves to show Catitude to me. So we got Catitudes. We got, I even have this shirt that I'm wearing is a Catitudes shirt. You can't really see the whole thing, but it's a cat on it, and it says Catitudes. And so my whole family supports Catitudes. Is that cool? That's cool. Another thing that I haven't really talked much about, right here. This is blue solar water. And it's something that I use all the time. I always top off my water with blue solar water. And how you make the blue solar water is you take it, water, put it in your blue, I like the cobalt blue, glass bottle, and then set it outside in the sun. It needs to be outside in the sun, not through a window, because there's too much filter coming through there, especially if there are screens and such. And so you do the water outside in the sun. I found that the early first rays of the sun seem to be very powerful, and I found that the longer you leave it out there, the almost sweeter the water becomes. but the minimum that you want to have it out is for an hour. I usually, when I put my blue solar water out to charge in the sun, I usually do it just before dawn in the mornings. And I have 6 of these bottles, and they last me quite a while. All through the day, whenever I drink water, I always top it off with the blue solar water. A very simple technique that you can use. I also have an energy circle that is a primary energy circle. And what is a primary energy circle? You'll find I refer to them in the frequently asked questions about energy circles. But basically, it is an energy circle, just a plain energy circle. It can have text in it or just be plain. But it's been charged with other energy circles. And how you do that is you must have the printout and use either a computer screen or a digital frame and put that energy circle facing the screen at least part way into the other energy circle being shown on the screen, and you intend secure while you're doing that. And you do that for a minimum of 15 seconds per energy circle. So you can charge it with as many as you want. And the primary energy circles will not broadcast all of those energy circles. It will charge water with it or food. It takes longer than your regular energy circle because normally an energy circle charges water in about 15 seconds with its contents. You must leave the water on it for a minimum of 30 seconds to have it charge with all of the energy circles. So it's a little bit different. It never broadcasts. If you leave it sitting out, just face up somewhere, it is only broadcasting the contents, the visible contents of the energy circle that you charged. It is not broadcasting all of the other energy circles, but it's a powerful way to charge your water with a whole bunch of different energy circles at one time. So, just another technique with the energy circles that can be powerful and useful, and what I do. And you can always take charged water and pour it into other water. So you can get some tap water or your bottle of water, and you can pour a few, just a little bit, an ounce, maybe less, on top, and it charges the rest with that. So just a couple things. Do we have
All right.
people?
So, I'm going to apologize for slaughtering anyone's names up front. Namrata Chaga says, how can I solve issues with someone in the best way?
Okay, what are the issues? Are we talking about friction in the relationship? Oil is about releasing that friction. Always divine together is a good switch phrase, switch pair, prefix, or anywhere in your switch phrase. To have the divine together is about relationship other. I use that little little rhyme all the time to remember divine together, relationship other, and if you reverse it, together divine, relationship mine, and so that's about your relationship with yourself. And so I just kind of developed those two little lines to make it easy to remember the difference between divine together and together divine. So we've got those things. We have cream. Cream is about forming bonds and getting along well with others. And Ubuntu is all about seeing the goodness in humanity. Another switch word that comes up is absolve. Is the relationship got problems because of disagreements, because of arguments? Absolve is to let those go. Okay, absolve is to release guilt and blame, obtain a waiver. So those are a few things. Now, if it's a love relationship, especially if it's a marriage or a long-term love relationship, I always love to use Venus, love, ever on as parts. What I see with that is Venus is about repairing and improving the intimate relationship. What was the second word? Love. Okay, Kat, get with it. Love is about generating, radiating, and experiencing love and acceptance. Ever is about keeping things going, and on is about building and producing it. And so that set, those 4 words, I see as relating to long-term love relationship. Venus, love, ever, on. So those are things that you like to put together. So one of the phrases that then could be built is absolve, divine together. 4 is about supporting. 4, love, ever, on. So what do we have, 7 or 8 switch words? I didn't actually really count them, but there's a good switch phrase for you when it is relating to your love relationship. Do we have?
Anupama Rao says hi, and Archana Ushkarna says hi. And then Sonia Basueto says, I am having multiple issues post-COVID. Recently, my ophthalmologist diagnosed a hole in my retina. Have to go for laser surgery for this on Thursday. Would love to have motivation and EC.
Okay, as far as it goes, when it's related to the COVID stuff, it's very hard for me to address that here. And so we're going to skip over most anything related to the COVID stuff. But always look at immunity things and balancing and returning to, I believe we have energy circles on the groups about health and restoring health. And so look at those things. But as far as it goes, when it comes to the COVID stuff, just because of the vastness of what comes up post-COVID and such, I'm not addressing that on the live stuff. Okay?
All right, so let me restate the question. They have a hole in their retina and would like support in that.
Okay. So, when it comes to the eyes, one thing that we have found is change. Anything to do with the eyes, change, change, change. It was so cute when he was but a toddler. My one grandson, I had told him, well, if you have anything going on with your eyes, because I don't remember exactly what had happened, just say change, 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 change. I'd hear him running up the stairs saying change, 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 change. And it's, are you okay? You got something in your eye? Because James Mangan, what he told us with change was it was to dispel pain. And what did he say about the eye? Oh, to get something out of the eye. What he had somebody experience was they were feeling kind of a pokey thing in the eye, and when they did change, 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 it just kind of totally moved away and no longer was a problem. And so that was interesting. And I've just found that beyond that, anything to do with the eyes, change is good. Point is about focus, it's about finding direction, and point is another good switch word for the eyes. Now, as far as healing the eyes, we want to, alone is your switch word, your main switch word for healing. And I love blue bonnet, which is one of the diffusing words, and it's about getting through things with ease, healing with ease and grace. And so we have that as well. So those are just a few things that may be useful for the eye. Think about what, if you have a hole in the retina, then you have a hole in your vision. And if you think about what the body part is doing and relate it to emotional things, a lot of times you can discover things that you want to focus on as far as it goes in your life outside of that particular physical problem. So a hole in the vision, there's something that's been in your vision that you didn't want to see, perhaps. Maybe you want to use clear. That also takes me clear is to dispel anger and resentment, and that takes me to liver, because liver and gallbladder are about anger and resentment. Anger, when you swallow anger down, it goes to liver. When you swallow resentment down, it goes to gallbladder. Now, liver has so many issues that it deals with throughout the body. It's the body's filter. It does so many things, but one of the things it does do is it controls the eyes. You ever see red? When you're angry, you're seeing red? Yeah, that's coming from liver. You're angry. And so clear is another switch word that may be useful as far as it goes there. Learn is about rejuvenation. It's about connecting to youth and such, but it is also about rejuvenation. And so learn may be something that's useful when it comes to the retina as well. So play around, look at things. At this point in time, I guess I could go into numbers, but I don't have that available at the moment. We'll see.
Alright. So, this seems to be a common one through our streams is Antuma Raul says, do you have, says, please give me something to manifest a travel desire. I've tried many modalities and I'm feeling hopeless.
That's the problem right there. I am. Powerful, powerful, creative statement. Do you want to feel desperate? If you don't want to feel desperate, don't say I am desperate. Okay? All right. That's how it's been. You've had difficulty in the past. Let's start putting into the past the things that we don't want in the future. Begin putting it in the past. I have been frustrated. I have felt desperate. But now I have focus. Point. I have focus, and I'm focusing on what is coming to me in the future. If you put it in the now, such as I am finding my perfect job, I am building my network of connections, you are beginning to make things come to you. I know it can be hard to let go of desperation when it just feels like nothing is going your way. And that's one of the powerful things when it comes to working both with switchwords and with the energy circles, because the energy circles can be a set it and forget it technique, meaning you don't have to be focused on it, because so very often, especially when it comes to our finances and it comes to work, people have had issues in letting it go and being in a positive space. They look at, I don't have a job, and they are holding on to, I don't have. And so you want to, if you can't look at what you want and feel positive energy circles are a great way because you can set them and let them do their thing and focus yourself elsewhere. We're spilling into all parts of our lives. We're spilling from other parts in. So if we're focused on something that feels good, that something is positive, if we're singing, if we're dancing, if we're listening to music, if we're taking a walk in nature, if we're doing something where our focus is positive, and we have the energy circle working on something that we have been feeling desperate about, we open our energy to allowing that more. The more you look at something that you feel you're lacking and you maintain that focus of lack, the harder it is to manifest what you want. So, as far as a job goes, I see give and take, because give is to help someone, take is to become a good leader, 53 is to be responsible, count is to make money. So those are all things that represent a job. So those would be things that I would focus on. You have charm, which is to manifest your heart's desires. So that might be something that's good. I love whole shebang, H-O-L-E. Whole is about getting attention, focusing attention. You ever notice that anywhere that you go, the first thing you notice is a hole? There can be a beautiful, pristine grass space with a hole in it. The first thing you notice is the hole. There's a wall all painted a beautiful blue. There's a hole in it. The first thing you notice is the hole. It's a very strong attractor. So that's why whole, and no, it is not W-H-O-L-E. I have seen so many people think that, oh, whole is unattractive. I don't know why. I want whole, W-H-O-L-E. You're missing the whole of switchwords when you do that. Okay? It's what is seen back here, not in your conscious mind, that the switchword is working on. Shebang is about jaw-dropping. It's about everything connected. It's about getting the focus on you. So when you're doing something where you're applying for a job, whole shebang, that's a great thing to include in an energy circle or something when you're going in for an interview. You have Plato, which is about being quick of mind and presenting things well, and so you've got Plato there. You have Shakespeare. Shakespeare had a connection to the pulse of his audience. He knew how to give the presentation. He knew how to manipulate the words and say the right things. And there are a few other switch words that are names that may be useful there. Act is the main switch word for being a good orator. And it's also about transition, because as you act, you're beginning to change something. So act is a good switch word for that. Tony Robbins is a powerful speaker, so you've got that. Qualified is a diffusing word. It's about showing and recognizing and attaining the skills that you need for what it is you want. So those are a few things there, but the charm and bring are great, and I love serendipity because it opens you up to seeing things outside of your tunnel, because we get such a focus, such tunnel vision about things sometimes. And serendipity is about opening you up to allowing the other things than what you expect may bring something to you that you wanted but you didn't realize you wanted. So we have on Blue Iris, I believe the link is job.blueiris.org, which gives a lot of switch words and information for job seeking. And I recently updated that article, and so it's got some new stuff on it too. So we have other things.
So Manju's here.
Hey, Manjeri.
Wrote a recommended Blue Sky vodka bottles. Back when we were talking about bottles.
Oh, yes. If you use a bottle that, like Brent had just said, that there's the Blue Sky vodka bottles. If you use a bottle and it has a name or a label or something, Xing it out is crossing it off, whatever. It's removing that energy. So you know that. So if you do go to a blue water or make your blue solar water in bottles that have brand names or something like that on it, scribble it out. That's all you need to do on that. Okay?
All right. Then Thrifty Tenthra says, Kat, you mentioned primary energy circle. Which one should be used as primary?
What do you want? This one that I showed you a little while ago? It's a calming one. It's for relaxation. You can see.
You can't see that.
Can you see that it's pink? And yeah, I'm not.
It's turned green. That's why it's
Oh.
erasing it.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. I don't have another one out here right now. Any energy circle can be used as a primary circle. Okay? Look at something that is resonates with you for the main focus that you want. So a pink if you want love. It can even be just a plain energy circle that has nothing in it if you want to. I usually default to doing something. We have been on the groups for probably the last at least 7 or 8 months, been, if not daily, almost daily, having our team post simple energy circles with switch phrases in them. Those are awesome. Use them as a primary energy circle. Charge it with the other things that you want. Look at what's there. We have hundreds of them that are there that you can kind of page through. Look at what resonates with you. Oh, that's beautiful. I like that one. I'm going to do that one. So what one you use as a primary energy circle doesn't matter a whole lot. You can write on the back primary or something like that, so you realize it's a primary energy circle that you're working with. So you know which one is which. I always laminate my energy circles so that they don't get destroyed easily. And as far as it goes, just so you understand this, when it comes to broadcasting, it needs to be closed, it needs to be legible in order to broadcast. When it comes to charging water, the main thing, and it needs to be in a flat plane. It can't be all crumpled and wrinkled and folded or torn. But when it comes to the water charge, it's not nearly as important that it be in the energy, a circle. It's okay if it's got watermarks or something. It can be a little bit crumpled. It still needs to be legible, and it still needs to be pretty much a circle is a good thing to have around it to enclose all of the information. People may ask about the difference between writing on the water vessel versus using an energy circle to charge it. And the energy circle, because it's an enclosed shape, allows that things outside the bottom of the glass or whatever are still reaching and charging the water. And it is specifically because you've got that circle enclosing it that it's registering and charging the water. But if you write on the water vessel itself, it's right there in the water's energy. It doesn't need to have an energy circle. And in fact, a lot of people buy mugs or bottles or whatever that have energy circles on them. It's not really an energy circle. It's just a pretty presentation because it's not in a single plane. But that doesn't matter because it's in the energy field. The words, the numbers, they're in the energy field of the water. So it charges them. And speaking of mugs, I've just got this is some feedback that just came in a couple of days ago with Simply Divine Creations, which Anusha runs, has some very specific energy circles that she does on different things. And there's one that we have that has math geniuses, all of the genius math, who all, I can't remember who all, but they each have their own focus on math. Anyway, she has had some remarkable feedback on someone who bought that mug from her that has that, and it is a proprietary energy circle that is only available through Simply Divine Creations. But they said that they had a child who was in school having a lot of difficulty with math. They bought the mug, and within 4 days, the feedback that they were getting from the child was incredible. I no longer need my calculator. Things are easy to do. All of the math and adding and everything, it's become so much more easy since we started charging water, putting it in that mug. And so that's totally awesome to see that. I hope I answered the question.
Let's see here. So, Anupama said, thank you for the, okay, thank you for the reassurance and agrees from today now on. Be more positive. And you're welcome for the videos.
He's amazing. Brent is just amazing. Thank you for coming into my life.
Had a lot of choice.
Oh, he may be able to say, Mom, I want you to do this, and get me to do things that I wouldn't do for others normally. Kind of like these videos. But when I ask him anything, he just takes care of it. And so it's a two-way street. And yes, any of you that have any question about it, you learn from your children. I've had people in the past surprised to hear me say that. From the cradle, they're teaching you. Open yourself up and let yourself learn from your kids, because this kid of mine, I know he's not a kid anymore. He's taught me so much throughout my entire life, and how grateful I am to have him in my life.
No complaints from my end.
Oh.
So, Archana Pushkarma says, Kat, you mentioned that physical pain is the reason behind some emotional stress. It's a statement, I guess.
The reverse. Emotions are very often what causes. They are the root of the pain. You have some. The tall guy is irritating. You go away.
That was a private conversation. I didn't say nothing. I just shooed you.
You see what my men do to me. My husband's sitting back there, he's doing everything he can to, hey, I don't want to be on screen, but I sure want to affect things. Anyway, so it's that you swallow down emotions. You judge it as a wrong thing to have this emotion, or you focus and continuously ruminate over something, and you're swallowing that down, and you're causing stress in the body, which is causing pain. When I said that on the eye, on the retina, the hole in the retina, I'm looking at what is it you don't want to see, because there's a hole in your vision that relates to the emotional, I just don't want to see that. So look at the pain and where is it? What is it that you don't want to do? Fingers are your details. Are you avoiding taking care of the details? Is that why your fingers are hurting? Or have been hurting? Did you hear that? Everybody does it wrong all the time, and then they correct it, or whatever. It's okay to say that my fingers are hurting, but as soon as you hear yourself say that, stop. Think about it. I don't want them to be hurting. Well, that's not the focus you want, because that focus is on the hurting. So take a moment. You can use cancel, cancel, cancel. I love that, because that's about getting rid of that negative thing. Now pivot and look, what is it that you want? I want free moving, comfortable movement. Okay. So my fingers were hurting, now they're not. Now I've realized that there are details that I have been resisting in something in my life, and I haven't wanted to dig into the details, and I felt like I have been stuck somewhere because of it. And the joints maybe were stuck because you were feeling stuck. Joints also are controlled by the gallbladder. Gallbladder is your lubricator. Gallbladder deals with the oils and stuff and helps to lubricate the joints. And in fact, many times I've seen this. People have come to me with knee pain, and my first question when they say that they have been dealing with knee pain is, do you still have your gallbladder? Your joints being controlled by the gallbladder. When you have the gallbladder removed, usually the first joint that has problems is the knee joint, because it's the joint that is most stressed. Also, gallbladder needs water and needs fat to do its job. So you've got that. Stones of any kind, like gallstones or kidney stones, those are hardened anger. And so if you're dealing with that, you may be expressing your anger actually in your body. So what else do we have going on?
Alrighty. Let's see here. Rhoda's jumping in and answering some stuff too. So.
Rhoda, I adore you.
Let's see here. Let's see here. There it is. What if an earache occurs and disappears on its own? Ear issues. Let's go with that. Ear issues. Earaches, ear whatever.
Well, if we look at ears, what do you not want to hear? What is irritating you emotionally that you don't want to hear. Now, I've told you many times the right and left. You're dealing with the right is the sending side. It's the side that you're giving to others. And the left side is the receiving side. It's what is coming from the world, from others, and what not there. So we look at the emotions that may be being swallowed relating to what is somebody not saying that you want to hear. How many times have I heard women say, my husband never says I love you? Okay, you're judging him and you're hurting yourself over the fact that that's just not something that he ever was taught to say, maybe, or whatever. And so maybe you're having issues in your left ear because of that. And what is it that others don't seem to be hearing that you're saying? Look at the right ear there. And so those are things. But inflammation, curry is awesome for inflammation. And back to the very original question about the ear pain comes and then just disappears. What if it's reflecting your emotions? You had something there and you let it go, and your ear reflected that. So listen, of course, would relate to ears. So listen and curry, as I said, for inflammation. And so change is always a good thing, and adjust is always those. Change and adjust I like a lot when it comes to the healing stuff. So you've got those things. So what else?
All right. See here, the next one I see popped up here was Anupama Rao asked, handprint energy circle. Is that something that could be used as a primary energy circle?
No, it's not. It's not something I would use as a primary energy circle. First of all, your primary energy circles are not broadcasting. Okay? They're only broadcasting what is in the visible physical energy circle. They're not broadcasting all of the energy circles they're charged with. It is only for charging. You can do the 3-finger charge if you want, where you put 3 fingers inside the energy circle. And you do that. You have to do it for a minimum of 30 seconds, or for charging food or water, once again, 30 seconds. A handprint energy circle is a personalized energy circle. So maybe that's what you were meaning. And yes, it counts as a personalized energy circle, because you have taken your hand and you have drawn it out specifically with your hand actually touching whatever it is, the paper that you're drawing it on. And you always want to be sure that you do a line across here where the wrist is, because it must be closed. Anyway, without your name and birth date number in it, it's still a personalized energy circle. And yes, it counts as one of the 3 personalized energy circles that you can have actively broadcasting at one time. What else do we have? Anything?
Let's see here. Studi gave a bunch of hearts, so hi, Studi.
Good to see you here, Studi. You've got so much on your plate right now, in the middle of Studi's currently doing one of the Blue Iris Gold workshops, and she's at the end of a week right now, and so she's we're lucky to have her here.
Probably just popping in. Let's see here. Anupama Raul says you guys have an awesome group. Kat, Brent, Rhonda, Studi, Manjiri, and many more I'm unable to mention. Thank you to everybody, and love you all. All right.
It is an amazing group. I see so very often people who had come in a few months or a few years earlier, posting replies to people, linking new members to posts that help them in what it is that they're questioning. And so it's just a wonderful space to see that, where those that are learning are sticking around. A lot of them stay there and help others. We have people that have been members of the group since just about the time that they were opened. And they're still there and they're still helping. And we have people who have attended workshops and now they know what they're doing and they're helping. And it's just awesome to have this beautiful hey, when you misspeak, you must point it out. Ask me, I do it. It's just amazing to have this group of people that is just so focused on helping and being there for each other, sharing what they learn, and in turn others learning. And so thank you.
Let's see here. What was that? Where were we? Yep. So Sanjay Om Taiwan said heartfelt gratitude. Manju says I knew Palmer with hearts. I guess they were saying hi to someone. Thanks, Kat, for the wonderful reply from a few people. And then Archana said, my 9-year-old son asked about the ear ache question, so I hope it helps.
Mm-hmm. Change is always good when it comes to ears. You know, as far as it goes also, on the subscription stuff, I can go in to my database and I can look up ear pain. I got something in looking at, is that what I looked for?
I don't know.
Yep, I did ear pain. I just typed ear pain into the Switchwords database, which has a list of switch phrases, success stories, requests, and such. Change ho, which originally I remember coining that one years ago, was to help clear acidity and relax and clear pain. And when I typed this in, it came up because there must be a success story that includes it relating to ear pain. And so let me look and see what okay. Oh, that was clear pain. Okay. Because I put ear pain, it came up with clear pain. But change ho is good. And let's see if we have, for ear pain, sinus and gland pain. Here is a phrase that I gave somebody. I don't have it fully defined in the database, but this is one that I have for ear pain. Listen, adjust, change, ho, love, shanty, be. So there you have that, and I just cut it from the database so that I will have it to refer to. Oh!
What'd you type?
I typed on the way wrong key. As in, let me turn my computer back on.
So shut down, there you go. All right.
But I have a new computer that I've been typing on for the last 7 months, and the keyboard is a wee bit different, obviously, right? That was
Good times.
good times, way to go. I was going to delete, and my delete key on my new keyboard is exactly in the same place as the power key is on this. And so, they're even the same brand of computer. What's up with that? They moved things.
It's gotta be new.
They got to get you to learn anew. Okay, well, I just cut that switch phrase. Once again, it's listen, adjust, change, hold, love, shanty, be. You realize that Brent's going to take it and he's going to cut this apart and he's going to leave that part in there.
It's only going to be that part. It's going to be just a video of giggling. I have a bunch of them. I've been thinking about just kind of stringing it all together.
I don't
25
laugh.
minutes of laughing.
I don't laugh a lot, do I?
So you're gonna make an hour-long video, huh?
His mom's laughing. Yeah.
And we have another one in here that the request was, my daughter is crying with ear pain for the last 2 hours. And the switch phrase I gave to them was listen alone with ease be. So that's listen alone with ease be. So there are a couple of switch phrases that may be useful for that. I could look up in the numbers database and see if we have a few things there. Let me look at earache. So, you know, these are what I'm referring to is the subscription databases that are at Blue Iris Learning Center. This is where a lot of stuff that comes on to the groups comes from, and things that have been shared at the group are often added to the database so that we have reference to the future. We try to capture a lot of the success stories and the requests and bring them into the databases so that they're easily found by members and whatever they're on that. So let me look and see. We have a radionics rate for earaches. It's 51,040. That's 51040. And it's a radionics rate. So you can take that and you can write, I'm married to a southpaw, and that southpaw has been using my old computer, which is what I'm on right now, and he changed the mouse buttons. And so I keep hitting the wrong mouse button to do my cut and paste stuff so that I have these for my notes there. But isn't that fun? You sit here and you listen to me rant, and he's just snickering. He's in the background snickering about the fact that the left is the right and the right is the left on me here on my very own old computer. I almost never use this computer except during these, and he uses it all the time now. He's got this thing he needs to have 2, 3, 4 computers.
3 seconds to switch it.
That's okay. I'm not going to switch it. It doesn't need to be switched. And so there you have a number, and it's mixed into all that mess of cat playing and such. The Australian tea tree also helps with ear, and we have with earaches, and we have a homeopathic vibration rate for the Australian tea tree. See, this is something that I totally love about the databases is they give me, I just typed in earache and I got a list of different things there, and it's something that I wouldn't have known without going in and typing that in. And so, but I'm just looking at what the tea tree entry says the Australian tea tree, and I'll give you the number right now. It's 8,995,999. So that's 8,995,999. And that's a homeopathic vibration rate, which is really cool that we can just take the homeopathic vibration rate. We can put it in an energy circle. We can write it on the body, and we get the benefits from it. It can be helpful. The Australian tea tree, I'm just going to read what the entry says, can be helpful for acne, bacterial infections, toothaches, cold sores, chicken pox, cold sores. Oh, I got cold sores in there twice. Congestion, respiratory tract infection, earaches, fungal infections, halitosis, that's bad breath, head lice, the MRSA, which is the staph infection that most often comes in hospitals, psoriasis, dry cuticles, itchy insect bites, sores and sunburns, boils from staph infections, antimicrobial insect repellent, and natural deodorant can be used for acne. I think that's up there already. Helps remove foot odor and mold. And so those are all things relating to the Australian tea tree. So it's just quick and easy to look up and get a lot of information. That's just one of the perks of being with Blue Iris Learning Center. And that's where you see things coming from the moderators at the groups, is they're going through the databases and looking things up quickly and easily like that. Anyway, go ahead.
All right. The next thing that was stated by Rhoda said, I do understand emotions causing issues, but what about caused by ironic eating, i.e. hot chili dogs or something like that? Or chili hot food, I read dogs.
Well,
hot dog.
You chose to eat whatever it was that you ate, and you knew the symptoms that would come from it. Reminding me of Dean and Cam-Marie.
Dean Scoville factor.
Since I said something about it, grandson challenged his sister one day. There was a hot pepper that came with pizza, and he challenged his sister to eat that and said that he would eat one of Grandma's Taiwan peppers in the door of the fridge. These Taiwan peppers are tiny, tiny, tiny. They're also referred to as 7 soup peppers because you can make 7 pots of soup for your family and it'll still be pretty hot with that just one pepper. And Cam-Marie had seen Dean try and eat one of those before, and a little bite had, eyes going everywhere and all that, drink a half a gallon of milk after and such. Anyway, he challenged her that he would eat that if she ate the other pepper, which is much smaller. What kind of pepper is Papa John's?
Just, green chilies.
Anyway,
Pepperoncinis
it's a hot pepper, but it's not that hot. So big sister takes and she eats that pepper and she munches it and her eyes are tearing and I'm doing this because he's going to suffer. After she did it, he got one of the little peppers, put it in his mouth and swallowed it whole. Boy, he's just like his Uncle Brent.
Use the brain, not the body.
Oh.
All right. Stewie says, I'm loving this. Right on, Stewie. And Stewie then told Rhoda to swivel, which I guess was due to, she was talking about windshield wipers.
Swivel. That's an interesting switch word. It came to us, I think it was for constipation from James T. Mangan. I don't know which definition, whether it was constipation or diarrhea, which, hey, wait a minute, those are opposites, right? Well, when I was at a total body modification seminar one time, and we were talking about things. Victor Frank, the founder of TBM, made a comment about it doesn't matter which you take. If you have diarrhea or constipation, you can take an anti-diarrheal or an anti-constipation medicine. It doesn't matter which one you take for which, because it's basically adjusting the environment of the colon. And so either will work for either thing. And in that moment when he said that, I realized that swivel was doing that, and therefore it was about relieving both constipation and diarrhea. So I added whichever one Mangan hadn't given us to the definition of it. And it's worked wonderfully. We found, and because it works with the environment of the intestines and the entire digestive tract, we wind up using it for anything digestive. And I've seen it come up in other areas where it's about making it, when you swivel, things just kind of balance out. And so, okay.
That's there. Bunch of people waving hi to everybody.
Hi to everybody.
That's there.
My screen has databases and stuff on it. It doesn't have you wonderful people on it.
That's there. Rashmi Sharma says, enjoying the session, thank you. And Rhonda says, thanks for all the tips on tap and pull and squeeze and pump, etc. That's here. Then, Shining Star. Wow, Brent. Okay, I'm new. Wonderful to see you live, Kat. I had a question regarding three-finger charge. Do we have to chant the switchword pair and codes in energy circle while our fingers are on the energy circle?
Absolutely not. That's not necessary. You're absorbing the energy just by doing that. And as far as it goes, you can have it on your phone screen, on your computer screen, or the printout, and you can do that. Though we generally touch the phone screen, you don't really have to. You can have it within an inch or two, and that's okay. Same with your computer screen, so you don't have to make a mess of your computer screen if you don't want to. You just having them close, your fingers close, is good enough. But yeah, don't have to worry about that. It's all about oh, the things I have to put up with. You wonder why I laugh so much? You should see these two men here.
That's there. Completely enjoying the session. Where do we go? That's there. Geriatry Rolani. My laptop has heating issues and causes disruption in my classes. Please give a switch phrase so that it works smoothly and classes are conducted with ease.
Okay, we have an energy circle that is for normalization of household events, and I know it's all over on the groups and such. And I'm sure that one of the moderators will probably tag it and bring it up to the top after my having said something about it there. But that's a powerful energy circle. It can be very useful. It's consider is about fixing things. And quiet, though it's to quiet the ego. If it's making a lot of disrupting noise, you've got that. The heat thing, I'd get a fan. Now, switchwords often are very magical in how they seem to work for you, but you have got to pay attention to inspiration that comes. Some people may think, well, I used consider, it should have just fixed it. Or I used the number for fixing things, and it should have fixed it, but it didn't. But it's about learning to connect and allowing that you are going to know what needs to be done. In his book, Switchwords Easily Give to You Whatever You Want in Life, Shunyam Nirav talked about alone, and he said that somebody had used alone for healing, and what happened is they got inspiration and found direction of a doctor to go to solve the issue that they were having. So sometimes it's an inspired action that the switchwords bring to you. I've had so many times that people have talked about the inspiration that they've had and something that they have done and how it magically has made a difference. I had somebody who wasn't sure if they had lost their wallet or someone had stolen their wallet or what. They said that they distinctly remembered having set it on top of a dresser in their bedroom. It wasn't there. They looked all through the house. They were sure that somebody took it. And because they felt that way, restore is a good switchword to have in that phrase. Now, crystal is fascinating because it is one that sometimes actually gives you a visual of where to go to look for something. And it also has had things just about magically appear. And I'm going to skip into another little story about somebody who had gone grocery shopping, got home, put away the groceries, and their keys were nowhere to be found. They always set them on the counter. And they went through the garbage, they went through everything that they'd put away, they couldn't find them anywhere. They used crystal reach, turned around, and they were on the counter where they always put them. So crystal used with reach can be very powerful in helping you to find things, even if you'd already looked there. Always look again if you're inspired to. It's fascinating. Anyway, so he used the crystal, the restore, and the reach. Guess where his wallet was? It had fallen down the back side of the dresser, but it didn't make it to the floor. It was stuck between the wall and the dresser, where he would never have seen it if he hadn't used the Restore Crystal Reach. But he was inspired to look back here behind the dresser, and there it was. And so follow the inspired actions that you get an impulse to do when you're working with the switchwords. He's intent over here.
Yeah, I'm reading again.
That's only 2 words. Hang on. Why are you reading? Hang on.
It's so large, hard to read. Let's see. Kupala Krishman, just need some clarification. Have come across some switchwords groups who do proxy chanting and payment, and people claim it works. What are your thoughts on that?
Okay. Let me look at that. First of all, I do a lot of remote work with people, and sometimes I do connect to their loved ones, but I have to have a clear connection, and I know when I have a connection and when I don't. And when you hire someone to do proxy, the first thing is you must know that you can trust that person, that they're actually doing it. Second, they have to be able to get a connection. And more often than not, money is the thing that is most important to them. And getting a little bit of information about somebody isn't necessarily going to give you the connection. You can ask people that I've worked with so many times. It's like, no, I need more information to be able to connect to you or to them through you or whatever on something. And so it's something I find that proxy chanting for a loved one or somebody close to you, you have that connection and you can send that to them. Now, if you believe that the proxy chanting is working, belief is pretty strong. If you believe that the switch words were working just because you had said them, you got that. The thing is, when it comes to the proxy, I don't do it myself, and I don't have others do it for me, because I feel that the main incentive, if you are charging a service for that, is the money. And I also know that there are groups where, in particular, they recommend the proxy chanting. They also say that energy circles don't work. What's the motivation there? If energy circles don't work, you need to go here. But the fact is that the energy circles do work, and they are generally created by people that know you or have connected with you or have the focus that you're wanting on the particular thing, and it's by personalizing them to set things up that it can really make a difference. And yeah, we have seen energy circles make a huge difference because they're set it and forget it. You can set it up and just let it do its stuff. With the proxy chanting, you need to pay attention. I don't know if you've experienced this, but I have. If I'm chanting a switch phrase and it's more than 2 or 3 words, I might forget. In fact, you kind of experienced that earlier with me. It's like, what were the words that I was using when I was putting together switch phrase for love relationship, enhancing it and such. Anyway, it's easy to get lost there if it's a very long switch phrase. And so you've got that possibility going on even on your own. But you're looking at asking someone else to do it for you. And having that focus, it has to be an intense focus. I don't recommend it, and I won't ask people to do it for me, and I won't do it for others. The energy circles are much more powerful and easy to work with. You can set it and forget it and let it do its job. And yes, I've had a lot of feedback from people who have come to me asking for a refund of the money paid for proxy chanting. It didn't do anything. I had them do it for a month and I want my money back. I'm not associated with them. I can't refund you money that went to somebody that was somewhere else. And so, as far as it goes, I can't tell you that it doesn't ever work, but I can tell you that I don't trust it. And when somebody is doing it for charge, think about it. They must do several people in a day in order to generate the money that they want, and to try and keep that kind of focus for that kind of time. I'm just not sure that I would trust it. Just me.
All right. I missed one earlier.
Okay.
Minnow M. What to do? What to do when you feel uncertain about the future in a foreign land as things didn't go as you had expected them. Not finding a desired job, school, no friends, family, and then as you're later on stated, yeah, same thing pretty much.
Okay.
Sorry for missing you earlier.
Okay, first of all, nothing ever goes exactly as planned, okay? So you want to be open to the possibility that things can change. And right now is a new moment. Those are what you have experienced in the past. Remember that. You're now focusing on where you want to go in the future. I love serendipity for this. That serendipity is such a beautiful diffusing word. And let me read what serendipity, its definition is, because I just totally love serendipity. Serendipity is for diffusing and releasing serious tension associated with trying to find answers to important questions. Serendipity opens one to seeing beyond the current focus, opening blind spots, making connections, and forming new bridges of thought. Serendipity helps one discern new paths for discovery. Serendipity helps bring pleasant surprises and fortunate happenstances when least expected. I love serendipity. So let go that you can't find any friends, because when I say I can't find any friends, you're darn tootin' I'm not going to find any friends, because I've already said I can't. And you got little old ego sitting on your shoulder going, oh yeah, I can make sure of that. Ah, yeah, no friends. Gotcha. And so instead of that, focus on, I am making new friends. I am is such a powerful creative force. I am making new friends. You're starting right now. You're making new friends. You're creating it. Okay, what are your switch words there? You want to cream. Cream is powerful for forming bonds. Of course, we have the divine together for building miraculous relationships. Ubuntu for seeing the goodness in mankind. And so that's about drawing to you. Chuckle. Chuckle is to turn on personality. You want to attract people to you, chuckle. Chuckle is good for that. And then just searching my mind here to see what else. What?
Said chuckle and the thing popped out in my brain. Chuckle, giggle, bubble up.
Did you hear that? See what happens with these chuckle, giggle, bubble up. That's what Brent just gave me. How cool is that? Chuckle, giggle, bubble up. Chuckle to turn on personality. Giggle is to enjoy whatever you're doing. Bubble, let me look up bubble, because I'm going to, without looking it up, I will probably give less than the full thing. Bubble is to expand beyond perceived limitations, to get energized, to get excited. And up is about dispelling complexes. Let me see. Up. Oops. Come on, Cap. You can get there. You can do it. I know you can. Up. I just want to look up all, because there are several things. Be in high spirit, dispel the blues, dispel inferiority complex. That's it. The inferiority complex, because sometimes we feel inferior to others, and that's part of why others don't get drawn to us. Think about this. What you think others think of you is what you broadcast out to others to think about you, and therefore, indeed, they think about you the way that you just broadcasted out, you expect them to think about you. Boy, that sounds complex, doesn't it? But basically, change the way you expect others to see you, to change the way others see you. So you have that. We've talked a bit about jobs. What was their other stuff that they talked about there?
So in the country, school, job,
Mm-hmm.
where to go. Yeah. So if we can do a foreign land,
Mm-hmm.
desired job, school, friends. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, AWE, awe is something that comes up for you because you are powerful. Am I in the right place? No, I'm not. No wonder I'm not finding what I'm looking for. I wanted to look up and give you the full meaning of awe. Here, that's AWE. And it is to be aware of your singular place in the universe, to be your authentic self. The world is better because you are here. Recognize that you deserve to be there. Sometimes we're writing stories in our head those stories are creating what we don't want. What if you just accept whatever is and move forward and keep yourself in a positive space? Know that you are loved. The universe loves you. You moved to that new country. Cool. It wasn't what you expected. Never is. It's okay. You make things what you want them to be. You write the story. We have cherries as a diffusing word, and that is exactly what you want to do, is follow what cherries says. Cherries is for diffusing the perspective of lack, victim, suspicion, and resistance. Cherries helps us see that experiences in life are simply that, experience. The positive or contra energies that arise from our experiences are by our choices in how we are willing to allow them to affect us. Like cherries, which can be tart or sweet, all experiences can be used for our good depending on what we choose to do with them. That entire definition came from Donnelly Schills. She contributed so much to us here at Blue Iris Learning Center, but that's one that I remember coming so clearly from her. What a beautiful diffusing word. Cherries. Look at that. Allow that things can change. And I'm taken right back to whole shebang. You are the whole shebang. You are everything. Hey, Brent, what was the phrase you gave me that I didn't write down? It was chuckle, giggle, oh man, bubble up. Okay, because I wanted to keep. What? Oh.
All right. Next.
Oh.
DK Healer says, for frozen shoulder, what is a remedy, madame?
Okay. Okay, shoulder is a switch word itself. It's about simplifying complexities. And let me look it up real quick. It's about assuming a task and simplifying complexity. And when there is a particular body part or something that comes up that is a switch word, such as shoulder, I will always include it in the switch phrase. So shoulder there. Now, what is it that you feel burdened about? Because your shoulders carry your burdens for you. They're a very expressive part of your being. When they're hunched forward and you kind of have your head down, that shows the world that you lack confidence. When you stand straight and proud, it gives a lot of confidence. It shows. And yeah, the things that you do like that actually affect how you feel. Like Mona Lisa is about smiling. You can't feel hatred when you're smiling. And so the simple act of a smile, and I don't mean a grimace, and I don't mean what are some of the other fake smiles anyway. A true smile, it doesn't allow you to feel hatred. And that is a physical act. And so if you think about things, what we do, the actions we take, the way we stand, the way we sit, all of that stuff affects our mood. So, back to the shoulder. So we have shoulder, and we want to be able to move, and so move is another thing. Frozen shoulder, there's probably pain associated, and so we want to change. And bricks is coming up. Bricks is, because it's a word, right? About solidifying, strengthening, and fortifying the position. And so bricks is, I see bricks when it comes to the physical as relating to the muscles. And so we also have at least 1 or 2 energy circles on the groups that are talking about stuck. And so look at those for stuck, and you may find things useful there on that. Let me see if I go to our trusty database and look at, oh, come on, what did you do? Okay. I'm going to look up, see if we even have a specific phrase for frozen shoulder here. Huh. Let's see. I have a success story here. My mom was having frozen shoulders, but after writing switchwords on the shoulder, the pain is gone and she is chanting too. Thank you so much. The switch phrase is ho, ho, ho. Sounds like Santa Claus, doesn't it? Slow oil bee. So ho, 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 slow oil bee. And I have another one entry here. This is why I so love the databases, because I can do this. And I've done my live sessions without my computer too many times. To have this ability, because hey, Kat doesn't know everything. She's got databases to take care of her. So the next one is a bit longer, and it has shoulder in it. Restore, shoulder. Adjust, change. Release, willow. Revive. Hey, this was fairly recently coined, because revive is a fairly new switch word. With light. Don't you love that? Kat puts her commentary right in the middle of the switch phrase when you're trying to take notes. And this was one that said, Success said that they were definitely feeling better after using that. And so I'll go back and read it to you. And maybe this time, you don't know, it's Kat, okay? I might be able to get through the whole switch phrase without interrupting myself for a little story in the middle. Restore, shoulder. adjust, change, release, willow, revive with light. And I do have this one defined. It says restore fairness and honesty, simplify a complexity, handle uncomfortable or unpleasant conditions, dispel pain, stop trying to control, be flexible, feel new all over again, and immerse in lightening the load. How cool is that to have all of that information there and quickly available? Anyway, so there are a couple of switch phrases for that. I can look and see what we might have, if we have anything in the numbers. We have some frequencies for frozen shoulders. And 1, 2, 3, I guess I don't need to count because I have the number sitting there on the bottom corner of my screen. I'm doing it again. Thank you, Joe. trying to use the wrong mouse button for copying. Anyway, 6 frequencies. Are you ready? 10,000 hertz. I love that one. 10,000 hertz is good for so many things. Just well-being. Anyway, 10,000 hertz, 727 hertz, 766 hertz, 787 hertz, 802 hertz, and 880 hertz. Those are all frequencies for frozen shoulder. So there you have it. You can create an energy circle if you want, all by yourself. You've got 2 switch phrases that can go in it. You've got a few other things that I've talked about, and you have some frequencies. Now, to write the hertz, it would just be 10,000 Hz, and yes, you need to have the Hz there, okay? 10,000 without the hertz, without the Hz, is not going to be the same thing, okay? And so you have it. You have 6 numbers. You have a few switch phrases, and my rambles before that. So there you go.
Someone asked a switch word for trigger finger.
Trigger finger. Let's look at what we just said with shoulder. That may be useful there, because you want the move. You want to be able to move. Joints are dealt with by gallbladder. Clear is your switch word there. So I'm not writing this down. I guess I could. Move, clear. I like learn. Learn is coming in there too. First something there, and your details. And so for some reason I'm seeing tiny sweet. So let's look at tiny and sweet together. And so I'm looking right now at what I have. Tiny, sweet, learn, move, clear. We want alone. We always want alone if it's healing something, don't we? So work with that, and let me look and see if I have something in the database that's specific for trigger fingers. A lot of times we have to go a little bit deeper to find what we want. It doesn't look like we have a specific for trigger fingers, but we have a few things for fingers. Let's see. Oh yeah, I just searched on fingers, and I have all of the mood to blue iris numbers coming up because of that. It's like because I define those. Okay, we have a homeopathic vibration rate for the fingers, and when it comes to numbers, the focus can be what the problem is, or it can be what a solution is, or whatever, and the body tends to know. which it is, how to apply it. And so, but this is a homeopathic vibration rate, and it relates to the fingers, and it is 322. And so we have that. And Kat's scrolling through all the blue iris numbers about mudras, because, yep, there are bunches of them here. And let's see if there are more things in here. Our databases, both of them have more than 25,000 entries into them, which makes the search very helpful. Okay, we have joints. Once again, this is a homeopathic vibration number. We have this for joints and in the fingers, and it is 9,509. So that's 9509. So there's that. And we have other stuff in here, but it's on subscription. So I don't necessarily share all of the very deep information on the videos. At Blue Iris Learning Center, we have a much larger list of things than what you see at the groups and whatever. We have way more energy circles than what's shared, because there's a lot of proprietary stuff amongst the things that we have on Blue Iris. So.
Okay. So someone asked about being able to travel with, the restrictions that are currently in place, and they can anything they do to try to see loved ones in different countries, by loved ones, family, friends, not friends, but siblings and kids.
Okay. Well, I'm seeing Visa. Visa is very good switchword word for travel, and I'm not talking about having a visa. Visa is to liberate travel, authoritative, unrestricted movement, widen your horizons and expand opportunities, explore your dreams, simplify access. Oh my goodness, doesn't Visa sound like it could be a good switch word to add to the shoulder one? To whatever you're doing with the shoulder, the unrestricted movement. And so that may be useful. It's so fun to see when we have new applications come up, new avenues of thought come up in association with specific switch words for specific things. That's what I totally love about the stuff that I do, is so many times I see something that I never saw before when I'm exploring things. So, oh, yeah, Visa's the main thing. Wheels up, I love that, to represent flying for travel, so you've got that too. And of course, move is to simplify the movement. And yeah, they have made some pretty tough rules recently. Let's intend that all just kind of slips away, and we open freedom. 2 switch words: open freedom. Again, okay.
All right. And then that's here. Shining star. What can I chant for a husband to take responsibility and help me with household chores? Do both things.
First of all, you want to quit judging him as not being helpful. Because remember what I said earlier? As you put it out there, he never helps me. He never helps me. It's going to him. He can't help you. You've put the restriction out there. What if you let it go, stop judging him as wrong for that, and do things that help him along his way in things that he's doing. Without strings, you don't have to attach that they need to do something for you for what you're doing for them. And the more you resent them for not doing what you think they should do, the more they're going to resist doing what you're asking them to do. And here's a switch word that just came up that seems quite appropriate here. A lot of times, it doesn't even occur to somebody that there's something they're missing, that they're not doing, that would be appreciated by another. Occur, OCC, you are. It's about bringing to mind and creating a presence. And so occur may be something that would be useful. Tiny, which is about being polite and courteous. It was such a sweet part of the book where James Mangan wrote about Tiny. He said that this gentleman was sitting in his easy chair. His wife was in the kitchen doing dishes, and he said, Tiny, and he was prompted to get up, so he got up, he went into the kitchen, he took his wife's glasses, and he cleaned them and gave them back to her. And she turned to him and she said, now that's the nicest thing anyone has ever done for me. And so that's where James Mangan got some of his inspiration, I guess, for Tiny, as far as that goes. And so that's really kind of a cool thing. Take, being a good leader. 53, responsibility, being responsible. And work on the relationship, once again, divine together. Those may be very useful as far as it goes for that. So you got a number of things. Work on your perception of them. As you work on your perception of them and you begin to appreciate them and what they do, they begin to reciprocate. But don't expect the reciprocation. It's in our expectations that we are disappointed. Let go of expectations. It is absolutely lovely when somebody does something that supports and helps you. But you don't need to expect them to.
Alright. Tijal Chef. People, they want something to help them have people understand them as they are, not as they expect them to be. And there's another one that kind of goes with it. It's Matthew Kumar. Any switch words to make the person talk less. The person is aware, wants to change, but not able to. So you kind of got two different. Want to be understood, and someone needs to talk less. So.
Okay, first.
This will be it.
First, accept that nobody is ever gonna understand the way you understand anything. Accept that. Embrace them as they are. It's okay if they don't see things the same. You can still embrace them even though they don't see things the way you see them. But for understanding, we have, that's really interesting. We have a number of different things that I hadn't thought much about. I just searched. I'm on the Switchwords List at Blue Iris. That's the sw.blueiris.org. And I just typed in under ST for understanding. I didn't go any farther than that. And it gave me 9 hits. And the first couple kind of was like, wow, that's kind of interesting. Because the first one is benevolent, which is about being liberal, receiving generosity, showing compassion and understanding, and being peacefully accepting. That's interesting. That's something I wouldn't have thought of, but in that situation, it may be very useful. We also have emerald, which is about domestic harmony and bliss, and understand your own feelings and others, and to improve tolerance, because that's one of the big things, is being able to tolerate that they don't understand where you're at. Get is to develop an understanding. And Hippocrates, this is a fun one, because Hippocrates doesn't have to stay in his. Remember what I talked about earlier about spilling over into other areas? Things don't just wind up just right here. You spill them into other areas. So Hippocrates is about healing with integrity. It's about attuning to the healing power of nature. But this is kind of cool. Be well-kept, honest, calm, and understanding, and serious. And pay close attention to details. Take detailed notes. And pay attention to diet and lifestyle. But as you can see, there are points in there that you can use Hippocrates for that can be used outside of healing. We all think of Hippocrates as a healer, but emotions come in, relationships come in when it comes to healing. And let's see, the next one was open, which is to release, to tolerate, to understand, to comprehend, to free the mind, to breathe easier, to be artful, and to dispel inhibitions and allow. So open, that's about allowing that other points of view can happen and everything. So open may be very useful here. Plato. And I don't think I'm going to read, because Plato has a pretty good sized paragraph. I don't think I'm going to read the whole thing. But Plato is about understanding the wisdom behind virtue. And it's also about elegantly conveying your philosophies. And so if you want somebody to comprehend what it is that you are saying, you might want to use Plato to help you express yourself better. Plato. I was just reminded of our conversations yesterday with things. I heard, when I say Plato, I hear Playdough. The different ways that you can see and play with words. Let me look. I've got three more things that have understanding on them. Reveal is to see, to visualize, to understand, and to bring into focus. Shakespeare, there we go, understanding the pulse of the people, stepping forward and making it happen. And so it's about presentations. And voila, which is about finally understood. Now, I can go back to one more that isn't about understanding but coming to comprehension, and that's fathom. Fathom is to develop a deeper comprehension, to grasp on multiple levels. And so you have the fathom there too. But remember, embrace them as they are. Accept that they're not going to understand you. They can't. They haven't come to you with the same set of experiences that you came to them. And so tolerance is important here.
Okay. The last part was making someone talk less, and we're trying to help them work on that.
Now, you're asking Kat,
This is a different person. Yep.
you're asking Kat this question. Of all the people to ask her to be quiet. I just say that because my consults go on forever because I talk and talk and talk and talk. And obviously, this is going on forever because I talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. Slow is to be patient. Quiet is to quiet the ego, which also helps to quiet that. And so you have that. Those two things come to my mind. But I couldn't help but make that reference to myself. And so, yeah, sometimes shut is about stopping causing trouble if you're feeling like somebody is causing trouble. And my one grandson loves shut up. Mom, it was just switch words I was saying. Shut up. You don't have to say it out loud. You can intend that. Limit is about regaining control. And concise and precise. What's concise? That's nutshell. So it's like I have the definition and not the word, right? And so you have that. And sometimes listen. Listen is just to be quiet. And all, but you know what? We often experience others according to what we actually are doing too. Look around the world right now. You may see that others are describing people here as being exactly what these people are. These people are saying these people over there are this, but these people are being this. And it may be the same thing over here. These people over here are being this. Often we don't see that we ourselves are what it is we don't like to see in somebody else. So.
And this year, Tejal Sheth, who was asking about having people understand them, said, what can I chant for them? I'd say chant switch words.
Yeah, well, I gave you a handful of switch words. Look at those different switch words and chant. You know, start with quiet and listen. Quiet, listen, fathom. Look through the things that I've given. See what resonates, because that's the cool thing. We have a number of different focuses that are somewhat similar in switch words, and you can choose what resonates with you. Let go that it has to be exactly one way and one way only, because it doesn't. It really doesn't. You have all of these magnificent switch words out there. I think we have over 400 of them at this point in time. And then we have probably close to 200, maybe more, I don't know, diffusing words. Oh, you don't have to memorize them all. You can just search like you just watched me do. I just searched on understand. You can search on comprehend. You can search on whatever. Just use a single keyword or a partial keyword to search on things. Read through the list and, oh, what resonates? It's really cool and easy to do that. Let go of the judgment, because that is what brings somebody into what it is you don't want, is you're judging them as being whatever. When you say they talk too much, you're judging that they talk too much. You know what's going to happen? They're going to talk too much.
And so this was the guy who was saying, I want people to understand me. So, same
But
thing.
yeah, it's all the same. Because, yeah.
But
Well, I'm just, I did the judge for that, to be understanding, and listen are things for getting more deeply. Crystal is also something that may be useful. Read through, look at the different things, see what magic shows for you. Okay. All right, everybody. I think we're going to close up now. It's been a pleasure talking with you all, and hopefully I've given you a few things that will help you as you traverse your life experience. And remember, it's all about you. Okay? Whatever You're experiencing it through your own filters, and everyone else has their own filters. And so what you heard may not be what you thought you heard, and what you thought their focus was is probably not what their focus was. And everybody is more concerned about self than anybody else. And so you may not have just been in the equation. That's all there is. Have yourself a great week, and we'll talk to you hopefully sometime soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.